All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. On this one here, we are going to solve for the first 5 variables, which are all vowels. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with solving for A on this worksheet. So I have A that I've got to get by itself. So we're not getting X by itself. Notice all these letters, but we are going to work on getting A by itself. So A's best friend is X. A and X do everything together. So I'm not going to get rid of his best friend just yet. Okay, but I'm going to take this BY that's not his best friend, and I'm going to move that to the other side of the equal sign. Okay, so I'm going to have C minus BY. All right, so now our equation is AX is equal to C minus BY. Now it's just A times X. So now the inverse of multiplying A and X is to divide by X. So my equation is A equals C minus BY divided by X. Now we've isolated A. That was our goal. So let's move on to the next one. Now that A is done, we're going to go on to E. So here I have a gibberish equation that I'm working with, but that's okay. Now I'm trying to get E by itself. Now if it helps you and you want to draw that imaginary line through here, you can. Okay, that means whatever I do to the left side, I do to the right side. Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I do to the other side. Keep all that in mind. All right, so I have E plus L. It's not a 1. E plus L equals O plus 2S. So I'm trying to get E by itself. So I want to get rid of the plus 1, plus, I even said 1, plus L. So I'm going to subtract L on the other side. Now I've got E equals O plus 2S minus L. That has E isolated, so I'm all done. All right? All right, now let's go on and let's do I. So we have IX plus 2 divided by D equals M. The problem here isn't the whole fraction, even though we say, I don't like fractions. It's not the fraction. It's the denominator that is what you are not liking. So instead of dividing by D, the inverse of that would be to multiply by D. So I'm going to multiply this side of the equation by D. But if I do that, I also am multiplying the other side by D. We have to multiply both sides to keep them balanced. Now, we talked about it on how if I've got a D in the numerator and a D in the denominator, we could cancel them out. We talked about that in class today. Okay, so if you need help with that, go back and watch the last video that I created. It's a very short one as well that will talk about that rule. So now we're left with IX plus 2 is equal to M times D. Now, here I want to go ahead and get rid of that positive 2. So in order to get rid of that positive 2, we are going to be subtracting 2 from the opposite side of the equation. So then I have IX is equal to MD minus 2. Now, get rid of that best friend by dividing it off. So we're going to divide X, get rid of X, and we are left with I equals MD minus 2 divided by X. So we've isolated I. All right, now let's go over to O. Okay. So here again, we've got this equation that is some gibberish, but we're just going to solve for O. Literal just means it's got a lot of letters in it. So on this one here, I am going to go ahead and scratch off 2S on the opposite side. It's a negative 2S because that's the inverse. This is a positive E. So I have negative 2S plus E plus L equals O. All right, there's that equation. Now, the very last equation is U. So let's go to U. There's a correction here that you'll need to make first. All right. So on this one here, we're going to go ahead and try to get U by itself. So I have positive 2s that I'm going to move to the other side. That becomes negative 2as, forgot to say a there, plus v squared. So I have negative 2as plus v squared equals u squared. Now to get rid of the square, I square root this side, but that means I also have to square root the other side. Whenever I've got this square and this square root together, I can cancel them out. I cannot do that on the left side because there's a plus or minus within the expression, okay? So my answer on this one is the square root of negative 2as plus v squared, all under the square root, is equal to u. Now, in the other video that I made, it's also a short video, it talks about the square root and talks about the fractions. So go watch that one if you need help with that, okay? Lastly, remember that you need to have 10 letters. So if I have you got scarret has 11. I'm going to go ahead and do got scarret. You can do just 10 or you can do more than 10, but you cannot do less than 10. So you're not answering all the questions, only the ones that have the letters of your name. All right, have a great weekend. Make sure you get your name done before Monday.